Hello and welcome to another episode of Mortgage Video Mastermind, where we bring you professionals who share insight into the latest trends, tips, industry, technology, and services to help you create more videos to use in your mortgage business. And welcome you. What an introduction. Okay, welcome to June, the 1st of June. Not only is it June 1st, but it's our first live stream for our Mortgage Video Mastermind in June, halfway through the year. Hard to believe, huh?
How did that happen?
I don't know, very quickly. So my name is Ginger Bell. We have Scott Schang, and today we have the honor, treat, blessing of Carl White joining us. Carl, you have been traveling across the country like crazy for a while. So
I have. I just got back from the coast of Maine. If you've never been there, it's really, really cool. So,
Maine is one state I have not been to. It's on my list. And the fall right here.
It's great backdrop for videos. I can tell you that. I shot my fair share of them while I was up there. So it's a great location.
Well, and you visited some really cool places, and it looked like the place you were staying at was pretty darn cool too.
It was, and I think that's I know that's not our topic today, but I think a big part of shooting the videos is to let people, quote, get to know you a little bit and to be interesting. And if you want to be interesting, do interesting things. And I think it also gives a good this almost sounds uncool, but to show that you've got a good balanced lifestyle, and here's what I'm doing. There's a fine line between doing a video in front of your Lamborghini and doing one in front of a lighthouse when you're on vacation, kind of thing. So because I think people like to do business with people that are enjoying themselves, and I think that's a good thing to do, and I think it's an okay thing to portray that to your crowd.
Yeah,
I do.
I actually think that's one of the biggest opportunities that people miss is that they don't realize that the purpose of video is so that people can know, like, and trust you. And, and when you say lead an interesting life, it's really about being genuine and being transparent.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pretend like you have an interesting life. Well, okay, I take that back. You can find somebody's Lamborghini in a parking lot. You can go to the private airport and take those cheesy shots, but nobody really believes, like, that's normal. People aren't going to relate to that. You don't have to show off. And
especially if it's not yours, because I think that speaks a lot to who you are, the whole fake it till you make it kind of thing. It's like, hey, it's okay to come from humble beginnings. It's okay to work your way up. It's okay to have the nicer things in life. But when you have to go stand in front of somebody else's,
and video's not for bragging. Video's for communicating.
Exactly.
Right.
Well said.
I think that's the important part of that.
And
humility is an important part of that. And Carl is probably the best example of that. Just watching you cruise around the country, on your motorcycle and go to all these really cool places and share all these really cool things that, not everybody gets to see. And well, you do the same thing, Ginger. You're always going to cool places with your friends and taking pictures and doing videos of the cool places that you're hanging out. I don't do that so much. Like, I got a little jealousy.
We need to get you out.
A little jealousy going here. But then again, I don't go very many places. I kind of get stuck at home a lot. But this is we actually have a special month here for us, don't we?
We have a special month. It is. Drum roll, please. So, it's very interesting. And I was made aware of June being home ownership month probably a few months ago. And I was never aware of it before. But what's interesting is in 1995, President Clinton actually enacted a home ownership week. And then in 2001, Bush declared an entire month. And I don't know what they need to do in order to claim a national, homeownership month. But since 2001, this has been out there as, something. And actually, last year, I think it was reenacted again, and they did something to make it official, besides what Bush had done. That Biden ended up doing something to it. So I mean, people, DC keeps grasping onto this, right? But yet we as an industry hardly even know about it. I was speaking in California. American Pacific had their summits, and so I was at all of their summits through up and down the West Coast. And so did sessions for thousands of originators. And it was interesting because it was part of my presentation. It's like, okay, what can we do, video content about, hey, June is homeownership month. And I would do by show of hands, how many of you knew that? I'm not even sure the marketing team knew that. And so there was maybe 3 people, honestly, out of thousands. And so Rob Chrisman, I saw he came to one of my events. I'd invited him. And so he didn't even know. So I said, hey, we need to change this because, and the whole thing, if we flip the script and we don't just talk about mortgages, but we talk about home ownership, how does that change the dialogue, right? Because nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, oh, gosh, I really want a mortgage today. Where can I go find one, But they think about their home, right? What do you want in a home? A home is where you raise your family. A home is where you fix dinner. A home is where you hang out on the weekends. A home is where you invite your friends over. People, it's easier to have a dialogue about homes and homeownership than it is about, a mortgage. A mortgage is a byproduct, right, to homeownership.
It's a necessary evil. Nobody wants a mortgage. Everybody wants a home. And if they don't have the cash in their pocket, then they have to get a mortgage.
Right.
Yeah. And for the mortgage geeks and the math geeks and everything, then you start talking about, fixing your housing costs over the period of time when, the economy goes up and down and, the fact that it's a forced savings account. And every month you make your payment, you're paying down your mortgage and it's growing in equity and the power of compound interest or compound equity. There's so many cool things that you can talk about it. But it's really about empowering families and individuals. It's about providing security, stability, and quite frankly, generational wealth. That is a really big conversation that really needs to, it's always kind of been had, but it's an important conversation that needs to be said over and over again. And when we're in the business, and this happens a lot to us, and when we're in the business, we think, oh, everybody knows that, because we talk about it all the time and everybody knows that, but we're actually on, we're doing our live tomorrow and we're doing it on how much down payment do I need? Like literally people still don't know how much down payment you need to buy a house. Most people still think it's 20% down payment and they're like, I can't do that. And so we really got to understand that we as professionals, we take for granted how much we know, and we sometimes get bored with the little details about home ownership. Right. And so we stop talking about it. Yeah. And but I'm telling you, there are many commas in the number of people that are Googling those very, very simple questions every single day, trying to figure out how they can be a homeowner.
Yeah. And it's about the community too. It's like, it's not just the individual, but it's the entire community. And, I put a challenge out and said, okay, I want everyone. And when I was speaking, write down one name of who you can call right now in your community and pick up the phone and say, hey, did you know June is National Homeownership Month? I'd like to come over and shoot a video, or let's put together a forum something to talk about that. Chris Swartz, who's part of the Freedom Club, I had talked to him and he just got in with Keller Williams office. And so I challenged him. I said, Chris, you need to, set something up, set up a community forum. You're right in the middle of Philadelphia. And so he did. He called the president of Keller Williams in his Philly office. They set up a forum. And so they have community leaders that are coming. And they've got, the representatives from Keller Williams. Chris is going to be there. And I said, okay, put out a press release. Make it an event. Call the news station and say, what? Did you know June is National Homeownership Month? News stations are looking for information. And rates have been in the news, buying and selling, and you can't buy a home. We've been in the news, right? So why not leverage that, put together a community forum? I had a gal she's in Hawaii, and she knows one of their top surfers in Hawaii who's now running for politics. And so she has a friend who's friends with him. So she's doing a video with him talking about homeownership in Hawaii, which is a huge problem, right?
I did. This was real early in my career. And I don't remember how it came up. I think Scotty said it as a joke or something. But I actually contacted the mayor of our town, right? Clearwater, which is, I wouldn't call it a small town. Like it's a good, Clearwater, good sized town. I don't know, 500,000 people, something like that. Pretty good sized town. I called the mayor and he agreed. We did a little video interview, and it and that was a stepping stone for me. That once I had that, we started blasting that out. It introduced me to other leaders in the community, because I guess, if you interview, Oprah or Biden or Bush or whoever, people see you as important. And it never ceases to amaze me on, everybody's looking for a little shameless self-promotion on their own part.
Right.
And I don't remember what we interviewed. I bet I could dig that old video up, but probably wouldn't want to see it today. And
quite frankly, politicians need something that politics are so heated these days. They need something positive to talk about that doesn't have anything to do with politics. Because
especially like National Homeownership Month, why would somebody buy a home in this area?
Exactly. You focus on the community. And I, again, it's like, I challenged everyone. It's like, pick up the phone. I was in California, so it was on a late Friday afternoon. It's like, watch, let's start dialing. So just started going down the list. You can go find their numbers and you leave a message. Somebody from their office will pick it up. You're not going to talk to them, right? But I called several of their congressmen, and I got a call back from two of them. And they said, hey, thanks for making us aware of this. We were not aware of this. And we definitely, will put it in with, talking points. And by the way, if you do have some events that are going on, please let us know, and we'll get them put into their calendar and see if they can show up. Because homeownership in all communities is an issue. And not just homeownership. And it's like, if you challenge yourself, and honestly, if you went out and made one video a week, each week, and said, I'm going to sit down with a realtor, and I'm going to do a forum, or I'm going to get several realtors together and talk about buying in today's market, selling in today's market. If you go and, put together a community forum, call your chamber, and they're looking to do live events. They haven't done any for a while, right? Say, hey, June is National Homeownership Month. I'd like to put together a panel. We're putting together a panel to focus on home buying in the community. Get a business owner together, get a realtor together, get a builder, especially your smaller builders, because, they would love to be able to have the opportunity. Plus, you can build a relationship with them and just put together a forum. You don't have to maybe put some questions together. It's like, what are the challenges homeowners are seeing right now? How are they overcoming those challenges? Just put together some questions to ask on the panel. And then, doing that and being able to, promote that. So Julie's saying, how about doing a TikTok video? Yeah, I mean, you could do a 2-second
Did you
TikTok
know?
video for 30 days. I love that.
Just by the way, you talk about the different platforms. Do you know what website gets the most traffic in the world today? Number one traffic website. What would you guess?
Oh, probably Amazon.
Yeah, you would think Amazon, Google, right? Something like that.
They usually release those numbers, and 3 of the top 5 are usually porn sites, but Facebook is up there, and there's a few more. I don't know where you're going with this, Carl.
Well, the number one last month, and Julie got it right, was TikTok. TikTok got more traffic than Google last month. How's that for a shocker?
Oh, okay. Is TikTok a website or the app traffic?
Well,
It's gotta be app traffic because it's not a website.
Yeah, well, yeah. It said TikTok got more traffic than Google last month.
Yeah,
wow.
And
that's impressive and scary at the same time.
Yeah, and Julie's saying outperformed Facebook too, and so that's true. So let's talk about TikTok for a minute because I dismissed it, and we had Danny Ruiz on, and he's been killing it on TikTok. We have some other people that are playing around with it. The numbers, and I thought it was going to be a very young demographic. Numbers are predominantly female, 67% is what we're seeing, that are scheduling appointments. And then average age is probably around, 40 to 45. And so much older than I thought. But then I started thinking about, I got onto Facebook in 2008. And the reason I got onto Facebook is because my son got onto Facebook, right? And being a good mom, I'm going to stalk him. And so that's what's happening on TikTok. So the kids are getting onto TikTok. The moms are getting onto TikTok, stalk. And now we're seeing that trend into that older female demographic.
I was shocked. I blew off Facebook too, until actually, Scott, you're the reason I got on Facebook. That you guys with Mortgage Revolution, we saw this event that was going to be in Atlanta, and I went, and this was very early in the Mortgage Revolution days, and frankly, I'd never even heard about it, and so and hadn't had the honor of meeting meeting Scott Schang, and it was me, Ralph, and Scotty, just kind of stumbled into Atlanta to see what's going on with these. There was this room full of people, and it was like, my gosh. And I asked Scott, I said, I think it was you, Scott, Mark Green,
Madsen. Madsen was there.
Yeah, a couple other guys.
And, probably Renee. Rodriguez.
And I said, how in the world do you fill this room? And you said Facebook. And I went, oh my God, I had no clue. And so I went out that afternoon and got me I called Diane and that afternoon, and I said, set me up on a Facebook account and then teach me how to use this thing. And I think I'm a little behind the curve on the TikTok thing too. I foo-fooed that, too, up until today. When yesterday is when I heard that they overtook Google on traffic, and just shocking.
Yeah, and it's so anytime there's something new like this, I think probably the hardest thing is figuring out who is the audience. It's like anything else, right? And crafting it. So TikTok tends to be shorter videos, 2 seconds. So I think we actually go through this process of how can I create a 2-second video that's going to get me business, right? Where you're not doing, making yourself look ridiculous, doing the Dougie, right? So,
and maybe looking ridiculous isn't such a bad thing.
And for a certain point, I think.
Oh, I get it.
There's a balance.
Yeah,
I think you can't do that all the time, but I think it's finding that balance. And so Julie's actually posting a lot of great ideas here. Thank you, Julie. Talking about doing a 2-second video for TikTok with an agent a day for 30 days, asking them 1 to 5 questions. So it changes. I love that idea. And then asking your agent, what did homeownership mean to your family? How did it change your life? Tell me a story about a client that deserved homeownership, how it worked. And then how, yeah, I mean, obviously TikTok, cooking, cleaning, all those kind of things. So, and you could even do that. What if you did a quick cooking tip that, hey, I'm in my home, and I'm going to do a quick little cooking tip here, and then go into, by the way, if you know anyone who, or if you or anyone is looking to buy or to refinance, I can help you, and so you can do something else and then put your call to action in there as well.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to do, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer on this call, but Carl really teaches this a lot, and it's about half-built bridges. And when things like TikTok come along, they're sexy. They're like, oh, there's video, there's all these people with all these followers. But what you were talking about earlier is going into your community, meeting face to face with local politicians, meeting with local small business owners, trying to make a home ownership day or a forum or a community picnic day, like make it a family reunion for the community. Like these are the things, these are the old school belly to belly things where we reinforce real relationships. I'm super nerdy and techie, but I don't like living in alternate realities. And I don't like getting sucked into things that this is not the market to get distracted by shiny objects. This is the market to build your fundamentals, strengthen your relationships, contribute to the community, especially after 2 years of COVID. Get back out there and hug somebody and do this stuff face to face. You're going to build longer, more profitable relationships doing that than you're ever going to do trying to get likes and thumbs on a TikTok or something like that. So I love it.
That. Yeah.
I love it, but most people don't have the bandwidth to get distracted by that, and they lose the stuff that's most important, which is really investing in those relationships that are going to bring in a steady business over time.
Right.
And I think so. I think that's important, but it's always fun to talk about that stuff. And quite frankly, if you're creating video, you can repurpose it and put it on a lot of different platforms. So one of the best ideas I ever heard from TikTok is they love the editing options on TikTok, and like creating little call outs and stuff that they would do their videos on TikTok, download it, and then post it everywhere else, because it was just a really simple way to create video.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. And to your point too, you can do these events, and I agree 100%. So, thinking about, to your point, Scott, is like, what do you need to do right now to build your business? And they need to make their Thor's Hammers calls, right? In your Thor's Hammers calls, perfect dialogue to have. Did you know it's June Homeownership Month? And by the way, I'd love to set up a video with you. I mean, you could do one video a day with each realtor. You can do a Zoom video like what we do, right? And then post that out there. But the big community forums, bring your $1,000 camera along with you, or hire a videographer for a day. If you have a big event, there's a ton of local videographers who will go out and shoot video. And so then you can have that footage and repurpose that throughout.
Yeah. So, something else that I found is like video, I've learned to kind of create it or treat it like a Trojan horse. Like, I don't have to talk about mortgages when I do my videos.
Yep.
Like, I do believe in having a call to action on not every video, but almost every video, having some sort of a call to action. And so I can talk about, anything like the fair's coming to town, or, they're actually coming up here in a couple of weeks. They have a sand castle, which is pretty impressive, actually. These sand castles they build out on St. Petersburg Beach, where they have these championships. Cool. I can talk about anything. It's just at the very end, is where I put my, call to action. So anyway, hope to see you out there. Hey, remember, anytime you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance, that's what I help people to do. My name is Carl White.
Yep.
And so I can talk about pink elephants and throw that, oh, by the way, anytime you're looking for. And so the same thing, like when I do my emails, I can do an email about any topic. And then in the PS, talk, just a little quick PS, hey, if you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance, that's what I help people do, which doesn't have to have anything to do with the body of the email. The email itself is just a carrier or a Trojan horse, so to speak, for my call to action. So we don't have to be clever on this stuff and go, how can I weave this in? You don't have to weave it in. You can do a transition, just like you're watching a TV show and they're talking about one thing and then they break for commercial. Their TV show is not weaving into the commercial. It's a separate entity on the same time frame.
Yep.
This is, you guys publish the leadership videos and sort of the B2B videos. When you're doing your Thor's Hammer calls, I would create a video or I would have a short spiel, but when you're doing those calls, hey, by the way, did you know it was National Homeownership Month? I had this really great idea. I was wondering if I could send you a personal video. And if they say yes, you're just like, hey, Susie, this was my idea. I want to get together some other people in the community. Who in your office do you know that you think would get together and want to get involved in this? And use that video to communicate your message.
Yep.
And send that to them, because they're likely to spread that around the office and say, hey, these guys are doing these things. Oh yeah, you made a great resource here, didn't you?
Yeah. So before we get ready to close, because honestly, guys, this is a huge goal of mine, is to be able to really start raising awareness that this is National Homeownership Month. Mm-hmm. And so Rob Chrisman, I've asked him to post. I've created 30 different mortgage trivia. So we came up with 30 different home ownership trivia. And so we've made them into social graphics. And so the first one is interesting. The highest interest rates were in October of 1981, a whopping 18.45%. And then this one,
which just as an FYI, was right about the time I bought my first house.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
Yeah, ours was, and it was an ARM, and we were just happy to be in our house. So, and then the concept of a housewarming party began due to the need to literally warm up the house. Guests brought firewood for the new fireplace. So we have made 30 different graphics of homeownership trivia. And we have made them available for free. If you go to junehomeownershipmonth.com, and it's not thinking there, so I'll type it in again. So it's junehomeownershipmonth.com. And we've got all the content here. We also have ideas. So things you can do: host a community forum, contact your local chamber, interview a state or congressional member, contact a radio station.
Love that.
Community projects. And so then we also have social graphics and videos. And so if you enter your name and your email, I'm going to send you all of the graphics. So we've created these that you can post onto social media, just talking about why homeownership is important. And think about, share these with your real estate agent. Say, hey, we want to be able to talk about Homeownership Month. And so I have some graphics. Would you like me to share it? Send it to them too. So you can share these. And then we also have.
I'll make sure where this is at so I can rip this off. This is June
homeownershipmonth.com.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Can't rip it off if she's giving it away for free, Carl.
This is good stuff.
It's great stuff.
Yeah.
And we've got I put the homeownership trivia in here. So it's like, you could post something like this, grab one of these, post one of these once a day for the month. And again, it's just a matter of getting it. Or like, my group is going to make a video. It's like, I've several in our group that do videos. Like, they're just going to make a short video, and say,
Is
hey,
this an actual Canva template? So I can import the template and
I can
put my
send it to
watermark
you.
on there or whatever.
Yeah,
Like when they
I'll
when
send
they-
it to you. I tried that and I shared it with a couple people. I did a webinar last week for RHMI, and we had over 1,000 people on, and I had shared some Canva, but some people went in and changed things.
They have to copy the template.
I know,
learned the
but
hard
not
way too.
everybody knows that.
Yes, I know. I know.
I was
hard way.
sharing it with a couple of marketing people that knew that. So I'll share it with you. If anybody wants it, I'll make a copy and I'll send you a copy. So
There we go.
But if we just go to junehomeownership.com and then do the opt-in. thing there.
JuneHomeownershipMonth.com.
JuneHomeownershipMonth.com.
Yep.
Got it. And then we just do the opt-in thing and then you send it to us through the opt-in. No brainer.
Yep. So that's it. So, and go get them because, take advantage of it. Honestly, guys, and here's the thing. How many times do you hear a good idea? And you think,
Every
gosh,
day.
I'm going to act on that, right?
Yep.
And I don't want you to be sitting in July going, dang,
That would have been a good idea.
I wish I would have done that. I mean, I honestly had a call with someone this morning and they're like, oh God, you're killing it. You're putting so much stuff out there. I absolutely love it. I said, great. Are you using it? No, I don't have time. It's like, what do you mean you don't have time?
Yeah. You ever seen those little round tuits? Are you familiar with that?
Zig Ziglar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people say, hey, as soon as I get around to it,
Mhm.
they make these little round wooden things and it says it's a tuit, TUIT.
Yep.
And it's a round tuit. And you now have your round tuit. Go do it.
I love it.
I thought that was a clever.
Personally, I'm working on my July campaign of Happy Belated Homeownership Month campaign, and I'm gonna just drive that horse until it just drops. There we go.
And I bet you're going to have 30 different things about that too. If I had to do a wild guess.
Did you miss Homeownership Month? It's not too late.
But definitely,
Great
flip the
topic.
script, talk about homeownership. That's it. So, so we're gonna let you go. Carl, always
Right.
good to see you. Look forward to
it's an
seeing you in
it's an honor to
in
play
a
in your-
month.
Yeah, and it's always an honor to play in your sandbox. I really appreciate it. Both you and Scott, always an honor.
Well, we love it. Great team. Okay, you guys, pick up the phone. Go make a phone call. June Homeownership. Let's see you next week.